How's it going, YouTube? This is Manny from Manny Fresh Bets, bringing you my Week 9 against the spread picks. If this is the first time watching one of my videos, definitely appreciate it if you would subscribe, like, comment, and share. Turn on the notification signs, guys, on both my Twitter page at Manny Fresh Bets and on the YouTube channel. I'm got a few questions about the challenge we're doing, the 8-leg challenge, where we start with $10, end up with $1,800 if we hit all 8 straight up bets. Didn't have a strong play yesterday, so I didn't play one. I got a few messages regarding that challenge. Put the notification signs on. You'll get the notification as soon as I post a new video or as soon as I post something on Twitter. Definitely reach out if you guys got any questions about player props, about a particular game, anything you're thinking. We're here to learn from each other. Definitely appreciate all the support, all the new subscribers, all the new followers on Twitter. So without further ado, these are my picks for against the spread for Week 9 NFL. I got the Green Bay Packers on the alternate spread plus 3.5. Then I took the Detroit Lions plus 21.5. So I'm kind of playing both sides here, just because Green Bay hasn't looked great, and Detroit, even though they were doing really well against the spread, I believe they're 2 games straight that they haven't covered the spread, I believe. So, just kind of backing both sides here, hoping that the Packers win and don't get blown out. And then same thing for the Detroit Lions. So I'm playing both sides there, keeping it safe with that game, just because there's a lot of unknowns. The only thing I do know is probably there's going to be probably a lot of points in that game. Green Bay is probably going to wake up. Detroit's defense is bad. Their offense is good. So I could definitely see a lot of points there. In terms of the Seahawks, Arizona Cardinals game, this game is tricky because the first game, Arizona lost 19-9, which was very surprising. They only put up 9 points. Now they're home. They play better on the road. But I think that this game is going to be close. I think this is going to be like a field goal game. I don't see Seattle losing by more than 22 points. I don't see Arizona losing by more than 22 points. So that's why I put those plus 21.5 on both. Then I took the Chiefs pretty much to outright win at minus half a point. The odds on that were better than taking them on the money line. So I took them there. Then I took the Titans plus 28.5. I think even if Tannehill doesn't play in this game, I think Derrick Henry does enough with his legs. Kansas City's run defense is not great. I think he does enough with his legs to keep this game close. I don't see them getting blown out by more than 30 points. So that's why I took them at plus 28.5. Then I took the Colts plus 14.5. Even though we did see a backup quarterback last week with the Colts, they actually had a chance to win that game if it wasn't for an insane throw by Taylor Heineke to Terry McScoring, pretty much. That's what I call him. That guy's good. Taylor Heineke looks like he's better than Wentz. He's doing his thing. But the Colts, I don't see them getting blown out by too much by the New England Patriots. The Patriots, yes, their defense is good. Their offense is just run the ball. Mac Jones doesn't look like he's 100%. Bailey Zappi, obviously, he's the backup, but he got benched once Mac Jones came back. The offense just looks like a mess. And it's been looking that way pretty much the whole season, except that game against Detroit when they won. I think it was like 30-something or nothing. And even then, the defense was the one that was holding it down. So I don't see the Colts getting blown down by much here. I think they're going to keep it at least within 2 touchdowns. Then I took the Bills minus 2.5 to win against the Jets. I think they're going to probably win by like a touchdown. The spread right now, I think, is like 11.5, which the Jets are a sneaky team. The Jets, obviously the Bills are a better team. I think they're getting some guys back on defense. I just don't see the Jets getting completely blown out the water here. It could happen, but it's a division game. I took the Bills to win by at least a touchdown. I think that's very doable. Then I took the Miami Dolphins just to outright win, minus half a point. I think they're going to beat the Chicago Bears. I actually like them against the spread as well. Then I took the Bengals to win by at least a field goal against the Panthers. I think that game, I think it has a making of a blowout. I think Cincinnati's going to bounce back. Then I took the Chargers at the money line against the Falcons. The Chargers have a ton of injuries. I just can't trust the Falcons. You saw what they did last week. Great, great comeback win. But how the hell do you allow 30 something points to the Carolina Panthers? No disrespect to the XFL quarterback. I always liked him, but he's not an NFL QB. He's just not, and you pretty much let him sling it all across the field. No disrespect to Atlanta fans. You guys got the win, but I just can't trust this Atlanta defense. It's just that simple. And Herbert coming in. If the Carolina quarterback looked that good, just imagine how Herbert's going to look against that defense. So I got him on the money line. Then I took the Raiders plus 17.5. This game kind of scares me. Raiders look bad. Jacksonville Jaguars haven't looked good either, but their defense is still solid. I think this is going to be a back and forth game, and I took the Raiders plus 17.5. I don't think they're going to get blown out. Then I took the Saints plus 21.5 again. The Ravens aren't blowing teams out. They have a ton of injury. Bateman's out for the year, I believe. Andrews might not play in this game, so it's going to be Isaiah Likely. It's going to be, which I actually like. I liked him out of college as well. Got him in 2 of my fantasy leagues. But he's still a rookie. Gus the Bus might not play. And so it's going to be Lamar, Duvernay, and a couple of other guys. I just don't see how they can blow out the Saints team, even with Andy Dalton quarterbacking. He's actually done pretty decent. So I took that. Bet a buck to win $11. I think I'm gonna do this same bet and bet more just because I like these picks right there. Then 11 leg parlay. I already took the Eagles on the money line there. I took the Bill. This is a more riskier play. So I took the Bills to win by at least 13 points. Again, the Jets could keep this game close. So if you guys want to take just Bills at the money line or Bills -7, -6.5, just to win by a touchdown, definitely do that. A safer play there. I took Detroit plus 3.5. Again, Detroit, they're going to keep coming at you. It doesn't matter if they're down 30 or they're up 3 or they're up 30. They're going to keep coming. They're going to keep scoring. They're either going to score or they're going to throw pick sixes or interceptions. That's just the way they play. The defense is not good, but their offense is pretty good. Green Bay's defense hasn't looked great, so I think they could keep it close within 4. I took the Vikings -3.5. This one's risky just because the Commanders have looked better. Minnesota is due for a dud. They've been looking great. Again, the defense is not insane, but their offense is good. Got a ton of weapons. I'm just hoping that the Minnesota Vikings do enough on offense to not make their defense look that bad. So their defense should be able to do okay against the Commanders. The Commanders aren't great offensively. So I think that the Minnesota Vikings could win by more than a field goal. I took the Bengals -7.5. I think this is a bounce back spot for the Bengals. I think this is a flat spot for Carolina. Carolina has Atlanta again next week. They're probably looking ahead for that because this is, NFC versus AFC right there. Non-division, non-conference, have a divisional rival coming up next week. They just lost to them in a heartbreaking loss. They're probably looking forward to that game. They're probably not even worried about the Bengals. I think the Bengals are going to blow them out. Then I took the Chargers -3 again. Another risky play here with the Chargers just because their defense hasn't looked great. Their offense has a ton of injuries. But again, I think the Falcons' defense is just not good. They looked good last week. I think there was just some things that they figured out. But I think the Chargers are going to beat them by more than a field goal. Then I got the Dolphins -5 against the Bears. Even though this is in Chicago, I believe, I'm trying to remember the exact stat, but they're like 2-10 in their last 12 home games when they were underdogs. So they haven't covered spreads. I don't expect them to right here. I think they'll score enough to keep it close, but I think Miami's going to run away with it in the fourth quarter. So I got them -5 on that spread. Then I got the Patriots -5.5. This one is tricky because I just gave you the Colts plus 14.5. I think the Colts could keep it close. The only thing that worries me here is, again, this is a riskier play. Only thing that worries me here is maybe the New England defense getting to Sam Ellinger, causing turnovers, and maybe the Patriots just playing it safe, running the ball, running the clock, and winning by 6 or 7 in the fourth quarter. Then I took Arizona -2 against Seattle. This one is risky. This game, I just don't know who's gonna win. To be honest, I could see the Seahawks winning again, and I could see Arizona finally getting a win at home. I just took a risk here, banking on Arizona to bounce back against the Seahawks. Then I took Tampa Bay -2.5. This game is ugly. Like I said on the previous video, don't bet this game. I just kind of took a shot on the Bucks. The Rams have a ton of injuries. I believe, Cooper Kupp is hurt. He's going to play, but he's not 100%. I think he has swelling in his ankle. He's not going to be 100%. The running game for the Rams has been non-existent, even though it probably wouldn't matter because the Bucks' running defense is actually pretty good, even though they've been had a few times this year, but it's still good. The Bucks' offense has looked terrible. A ton of injuries on the offensive line. I'm just banking on the Buccaneers at home to win by at least a field goal here. But don't bet that game, guys. Then Kansas City against Tennessee. Tennessee, again, they could keep it close with their running game. I just trust Kansas City here off a bye week to win against the Tennessee Titans. Kansas City actually lost to Tennessee last year, so they're probably looking to avenge that loss. I bet a buck to potentially win 397. Let me see what else. So this one I already did. I already started it. I took Philadelphia money line, Houston plus 13.5. Obviously that hit. I think they lost by 13, which is insane. I hit it by half a point. Then I took the Colts plus 5.5, Bills -12.5, Bears plus 5. I kind of switched it around with the picks. I took Detroit Lions plus 3.5, Minnesota Vikings -3.5, Cincinnati Bengals -7.5, the Chargers to win by 4 or more, Arizona to win by 3 or more, and then again I took the Bucks -2.5. In all, $1 to win $730. So that's pretty much the picks that I got in this week. In terms of like straight up picks without doing the alternate spreads, I will probably lean the Colts plus 4.5. I would. This Jets game is scary. I can see them, probably keeping this one close. I'm gonna skip that one for now. I'm gonna take a risk, and I'm gonna take the Green Bay Packers -3.5, the Vikings -3, Cincinnati Bengals -7, Chargers -3. This one is tricky. I'm gonna take Seattle plus 1.5 and the Raiders -1.5. I'm gonna take the Buccaneers -3. I'm gonna take the Saints plus 2.5. Actually, I'm gonna skip these games because these games they very scary games. I could definitely see New Orleans keeping it close with all those injuries the Ravens have. So I'm gonna keep it there with that 9-leg parlay. I'm gonna bet a buck to potentially win almost 350. These are very doable spreads. The ones that I took. The only ones that worries me is the Colts, because the New England defense could they could force a couple of turnovers, and they could win by like a touchdown. Green Bay Packers, I can't trust them yet, but I'm gonna trust them here to win by at least 3.5. Vikings, they're due for a loss, and they're due for an against the spread loss, but I think they'll cover against the Commanders. Seahawks and Arizona could go either way. That game is kind of a toss-up. Same thing for the Raiders. But I'm going to take a risk here, and I'm going to bet the buck to potentially win almost 350. So that's going to do it there, guys. I really appreciate all the support. Thanks, everyone, for the subscriptions. And thanks everyone for following me on Twitter at Manny Fresh Bets. We're gonna continue the challenge today. So we're up at the third leg. I think we're up $30 and like 90 cents or something like that. And we're gonna continue that onto the eighth leg, where we turned the $10 already to almost 31. By the eighth winning bet, we should turn it to $1,800. So follow me on Twitter for that challenge. Thanks a lot, everyone. Enjoy your week 9 of NFL. Enjoy your NBA. Enjoy your NHL. Enjoy your college football, anything, any sports you follow. Enjoy that. Hopefully, you guys have a great weekend. Take care. God bless, and we will talk soon.